Hello everyone, welcome back to youtube.com/Margo Kamaya. My name is Margo. Please don't forget to subscribe, to like the video, to share the video, and if you have any additional information that you'd like to share, please don't forget to also place something on the comments section. Okay? So for today's episode, I will be sharing with you some of my World War II books that focus on the Philippines. You know, back when I was still a student, from elementary to high school to college, whenever we have discussions about World War II, it's the shortest topic ever. One of the reasons, looking back, I think one of the reasons why World War II became like a footnote in our history, because from the liberation of the Philippines in 1945 up to 1972, just a short 27 years, the major event that came out was martial law. So a huge focus disappeared on World War II, because the same generation who grew up or who experienced World War II fell victim to, or who also went through the experience of martial law. So I'm so glad that in recent years, in the 21st century, there has been a movement from academics, from researchers, from people who have relatives, or even those who were survivors. There has been a movement, a redirection of the accounts of World War II, especially in the Philippines. So we're seeing a lot of scholarly books, personal account books, easy to read or easy to understand books that are coming out or have come out based on the topic of World War II. So in today's episode, I would like to share some of those books. I know that there are tons more, and I do apologize that most of the books that I've been able to collect for the past 2 years mainly focus in Manila. So hopefully in the future, I'll be able to also add more books that are focusing on different places in the Philippines, right? Not just concentrated in Manila, right? So today, February, so today, when the time that I'm recording this, I'm not sure when I will be publishing it, but today that I'm recording it, February 3rd, is actually the start of the Battle of Manila, but I like to call it the Battle for Manila, or the Liberation of Manila. So it was almost a month-long devastation, destruction, mayhem that the retreating Japanese forces, as well as the liberating Americans, what they did to Manila, to the casualties, to the civilians, to our heritage, our history. That was the culmination. Technically or officially, here in Cebu, where I'm living, the last Japanese forces who surrendered were officially surrendered in September of 1945 in Tabogon, Cebu, right? But Manila was really like the peak of the battle. Once, in terms of American Army strategy, once they break into Manila, the northern Luzon would be easy. They could liberate the northern part once breaking Manila. But anyway, there is a memorial in Intramuros. It's called the Memorare Manila 1945. It is a sculpture, okay, that was created by Peter de Guzman, and there is an inscription written by National Artist for Literature Nick Joaquin. So let me just read to you the inscription. So this memorial is dedicated to all those innocent victims of war, many of whom went nameless and unknown to a common grave, or never even knew a grave at all, their bodies having been consumed by fire or crushed to dust beneath the rubble of ruins. Let this monument be the gravestone for each and every one. May they rest in peace as part now of the sacred ground of this city, the Manila of our affection. Right? So, this inscription or this memorial is not just, it shouldn't just be dedicated to the memories of Manila, but also the memories of the entire Philippines. So that's just my opinion. Right? So here I'd like to start off with the first book that I would like to recommend for those who are interested in learning about World War II. At the end of the video, I'll be sharing with you the details of where I bought the books, and also in the detail section of this video. So first off is Tabunan, right, by Colonel Manuel Segura, right? So this is the untold exploits of the famed Cebu guerrillas in World War II. So this is already the second edition. The first edition came out in 1975. The second edition was published in 2018 by the Ramon Aboitiz Foundation. Okay, so this is Tabunan. Next book that I would like, everyone to that I am recommending to everyone, and for you to have a copy, is All About Honor. Okay, The Legacy of Jose Abad Santos. Right, so for those who are not familiar of who Jose Abad Santos is, he was a Supreme Court Justice or Chief Justice before World War II. And if you have a 1,000 peso bill in your wallet or in your pocket, he's one of those who are depicted, and honored. Aside from him, you have there General Vicente Lim and Maria Josefa Escoda. Right. So this is by Desiree Ann Cua Benepayo. Right. All about the story of Jose Abad Santos. Right. Next book is by Benito J. Legarda Jr., Occupation 1942-1945. Okay. So there's a lot of personal accounts here. Since Mr. Legarda, lived through World War II, there are it's not just limited to his personal account, but also encompasses, the political, social, and economic repercussions of World War II to the Philippines. Next, we have By Sword and Fire, The Destruction of Manila in World War II, February 3 to March 3, 1945, by this is by Alfonso J. Aluit. Okay. So this was originally published in 1994, right? So concentrating in the Battle of Manila. Next off is Intramuros. This was edited by Nick Joaquin. Right. So these are personal accounts of folks who, had experience, who lived in Intramuros, who went to school in Intramuros, who worked in Intramuros before World War II and even during World War II. So a lot of heartbreaking stories are found. This is a rare, it's hard to find now because no one is printing it. But I was lucky enough to be able to find a copy of this. Okay. Next one, also a personal account by Marshal Lechaoco. He was they call it a diarist because he had a journal or diary during World War II. So his family had the idea of publishing, his diaries during that time from 1942 to actually it's from 1941 to 1945. So Dear Mother Putnam. So this is the title of the book. Okay. Life and Death in Manila during the Japanese occupation. Right. Next up is, this is by known historian Jose Victor Torres, Wartime Legacy of the University of Santo Tomas. So as we all know, that the University of Santo Tomas, the campus in Sampaloc, became, I would say, the prison and concentration camp for Americans and other, Americans and Europeans during World War II, no? Right. So, a Wartime Legacy by Jose Victor Torres. This was published by UST, University of Santo Tomas. Okay. And finally, one of the books, I actually made a separate video. If you are interested, I'll add the link to this video. It's all about Rampage, James M. Scott. So Rampage, MacArthur Yamashita in the Battle of Manila. This one I really highly recommend it. 5 stars for this. As I've shared in my Rampage video, it took me I think more than a year to go through the book because of the heart-wrenching accounts, stories of death, destruction, everything. War really is devastating, and I hope that through the history, or through our country's history, it never happened. It never happened, or will never happen again in the future. I cannot imagine life living under wartime. It's not, I would say, it's not a nostalgic feeling that we would want to experience. But again, these are lessons that we need to learn, so that we can move forward. But we should never forget that it happened in our past as well. It's part of our psyche. It's part of who we are as Filipinos, right? So I hope that through this videos, through the books that I shared, it will pique your interest or your curiosity, and get a copy for yourselves as well. They're very affordable. Most of them are less than 1,000 pesos. Around, maybe I would say around 500 to 800. Rampage is the most expensive one. This one that I have, it's the hard copy, but there is actually a soft copy. So I think the soft copy, if I'm not mistaken, is around 1,000 pesos, right? So there you go. These are the books that I would recommend for you if you would like to find out more about the Philippines during World War II. Right? So, sorry about being very solemn. The topic is quite heavy. But thank you again for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Right? So, stay safe, take care, and bye everyone.